I am challenging you to make $10,000 in the next 30 days. I want you to understand this. The longer you give yourself to reach $10,000 per month, the longer it's gonna take you. But to be completely honest with you, 99.9% of people will not make $10,000 per month in only 30 days, starting from scratch. On average, it takes between 3 months all the way up to 48 months. And if you think, well, that's too long, well then just don't start in the first place, and then you're guaranteed you'll never make $10,000 per month. I've spoken to hundreds of people just like you, people who wanted to build profitable online businesses because they just want to be happy and free. And for that, they understand they need a lot of money, at least 10K per month. That's when life really begins. But these same people, oftentimes, they had the fear of failure. And so what they did is nothing. They didn't even start a business. They didn't even try. And if you think about it logically, it makes no sense. Because if you fear failure and you don't start, what do? What's the outcome you're gonna get? You guarantee you will fail. Like the only way to guarantee failure is to just sit there, not do anything, not chase after your dreams. Do you realize how silly this is? So in reality, people don't have the fear of failure. They have the fear of making a mistake and looking stupid, of being judged by other people. So I'm telling you this, the day you will become free is not the day you will be rich. The day you will become free is the day you will stop giving a damn about what other people think about you. Why? Because then you stop competing against everybody else's expectations of you, or more precisely, what you think everybody else expects of you. Because to be honest, most people are too busy thinking about themselves and about how others perceive them to worry about you and how you feel and what you think and what you want. Everybody is self-centered. And you know what? It's good news. You could literally dress up super weirdly, wear some kind of weird costume, go in the street right now. A week from now, or even just a few days from now, people won't even remember that ever happened. That's how little people care about you in general. Now, the reason why we want to set the goal of getting to $10,000 per month in 30 days is not because we have to reach the target, otherwise we're a failure. That's not how it works. In fact, the number one way to be miserable is by putting so much pressure on yourself that you label yourself as a horrible failure if you don't reach those targets by the set date. It doesn't really matter. I mean, would you care if you made 10K per month in 31 days or 33 days as opposed to 30 days? Of course, no, you wouldn't, right? Because that's not what matters. What matters is you got to where you want to be. And of course, we want to reach our goal as quickly as possible, obviously. I'm the first one to want to reach my goals as quickly as possible. And while you can guarantee success with enough time, effort, and working on the right opportunity, you don't always control the timing. But at least if you set a big goal in a short time frame, it forces you to think different, to think like there is no box. You're not even thinking outside the box. You think like there is no box. That's the difference. And then it will push you to work harder, to get close to your limit. Because if you never do, you never push yourself. How do you know what your limit is in the first place? You don't. Maybe you could be doing so much more, and most likely you can. And when you get to a certain level of self-awareness, you know when you could be doing way more than you're currently doing. Now, if you'd like to learn from me, you'd like me to show you how I built $1,000 a day in profit business on the internet while traveling the world, only working 5 to 15 hours a week on average, when you're done watching this video, click the link in the description below. I've recorded a free video where I'm going to share with you my 3-step process so you can implement it today and start making money. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team, and we'll see what's really blocking you from making more money. And if it's a good fit, you might even get the opportunity to join my premium mentorship program, where I'm literally gonna hold you by the hand and teach you everything step by step until you yourself are making 10K per month with your business consistently. So if that sounds interesting to you, as soon as you're done watching this video, check out the link in the description below because spots are very limited. Now, before you even open up your laptop for the first time and start typing on it, start working, you've got to ask yourself, what's my why? Like, why do you want to make 10K per month and not 20,000, 30,000, even 100,000 a month? My ultimate goal was always to make, at the bare minimum, $100,000 a month. Because I figured if I were to make $100,000 a month every single month, like even in profit or in revenue, because, I mean, our business model is so high profit, 90 to 98%, that revenue is almost the same as profit, which is awesome. And I figured if I could get to 90K to 100K per month in profit, I could do anything I want. That's more than $1 million a year. I would have all the freedom in the world. Genuinely, when you get to $1 million per year with your business, you can do whatever you want. Like, you have so much money, so much freedom, it is insane. And if you make the right investments, you will never be broke ever again. You could even retire pretty damn early. So that's why I had the goal of making you 100K per month consistently, and I'm on track to get in there. Now for you want to ask yourself, what's your goal? Because if you don't have a clear goal in the first place, you won't be able to reverse engineer and do what it takes to get there. And more than just having a goal, you have to know why you want it. What would it allow you to do? What kind of life would it give you? That's extremely important. Why? Because there will be plenty of days where you don't feel like getting out of bed to work on your business because you might not get instant results. Oh wow, shocker, I know. Everybody expects instant goddamn results. An overnight success. Well, that's not gonna happen. Why do you get out of bed in the morning? If your goal is just to flex a luxury lifestyle on social media or to have a Lambo, that might motivate you for a while. I know it did for me, but then it's no longer enough to motivate you when you reach a certain point, because you can, technically speaking, live without any of these things. Luxury is not mandatory to be alive or to be even happy. However, waking up next to the love of your life every single day, for you, that can be a requirement to be happy. Like, don't believe all this BS online or in movies about you have to love yourself and be whole and whatever and just be happy by yourself. Dude, if I locked you up in a small room, you were by yourself, you were happy and whole, you wouldn't be happy, for fuck's sake. That's not a life. You need other things in your life to be happy. You need a good self-esteem, a good social life, good relationships, good health, good money. That's what you need to be happy. Like, come on. Humans are social creatures too. And every motivation is good to take. If some people did you wrong in the past, use it as motivation to work hard. Use it as motivation when you don't feel like getting up at 5 a.m. every single day and working on your business. Every motivation is good to take. Even quote-unquote bad motivations. There's nothing bad about wanting to prove the people who hurt you wrong. Now, since we set the goal of getting to 10K per month in only 30 days, we have to think smart and ask ourselves, what's the most efficient way to make 10K in only 30 days? It's a pretty short time frame, so you have to think like there is no box. And the most efficient, and by efficient I mean easiest and fastest way to get to 10K per month in a short time frame in 30 days is by selling high-ticket products. A high-ticket product is sold for at least $1,000 all the way up to $20,000, $100,000. There is literally no limit, but there is a bare minimum. If you're selling something for less than $1,000, this is not high ticket. Even $1,000 can technically be considered mid-ticket. But think about this. If you sold a program, like a course, for $1,000, you'd only need 10 customers to make 10K per month. If you sold a service or a program for $2,000, you would only need 5 customers to make 10K. See, now it becomes way easier as opposed to try to sell a $10 ebook. You'd need hundreds if not thousands of customers when you sell cheap stuff. If you want to learn from me how I've built a $1,000 a day business, working from home and also traveling the world, click the link in the description below when you're done watching this. I will share with you my 3-step process. You can implement it starting today to build your business and start getting cash in now. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and you might also get the opportunity to join my premium mentorship program where I'm going to share with you my advanced strategies step by step and hold you by the hand until you're making 10K per month with your business consistently. Now, spots are very limited, so as soon as you're done watching this, click the link in the description below. Now, you may be wondering, how am I going to get customers? What's the most efficient way to get customers? There's technically only 5 main ways to get customers. The first would be warm outreach, meaning you reach out, you send messages to people who know what you've got to offer. Now, if you're just getting started, you probably won't have this, so forget about it. The other way is what's known as cold outreach, meaning you're going to send messages to people who've never heard of you, but these people could benefit from what you have to offer. This is going to be very helpful if you want to sell a service. It doesn't matter if you provide the service or if contractors or freelancers do it for you. I'm just talking about how you could get customers for now. This is going to work great for B2B, but not for B2C. For example, if you help people to just get in shape, the best way for you to get customers will be way number 3, which is posting content on social media. If you help businesses, you can do cold outreach, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. But if you sell to consumers, everyday people, about any topic, gardening, fitness, working out, finances, etc., you want to make social media content. And even if you reach out to businesses, on top of that, you want to make social media content. Making social media content is like having a website or a business card nowadays. You need to have it if you actually want to make money. It's a requirement, because if you don't, the competition will wipe you out. The other way to get customers is paid advertising. If you are a beginner, you haven't made at least 100k online, or at least like 30k online, don't go to paid advertising yet, okay? Because you don't have a proof of concept. You don't know if your thing is gonna sell. You're going to have to learn advertising, marketing, so many damn different things. It's gonna be a mess. So unless you have a ton of startup capital that you are willing to potentially lose, don't start with paid advertising. Start with social media content and outreach. And if you sell expensive products, you only need a handful of customers to make 10k per month. And once you're making 5 to 10k per month, you can reinvest your money into ads. That is the smart way to go about it. And finally, the last way to get customers is through referrals. Now, my issue with referrals is that when you're just getting started, you probably don't have them. Alright? And if you only rely on referrals to grow your business, unless you're in a very niche market and you sell very expensive products, it can be just hell. So honestly, for anything you're gonna sell, the best way is always gonna be social media content. And then you can even run advertising to people who watched your content. And that's how you can make 100k per month rather effortlessly, honestly. So you want to start posting one daily piece of content, preferably long-form content. Unless you go on Instagram, which is also a good platform. If I had to pick one social media platform, I'd pick YouTube as my first choice or Instagram as my second choice. And all you need to make this successful is to just consume content, remake content, get inspiration from what you see online, and do this for the next 5 to 10 years. If you can stick to it, you will be a multi-millionaire. Like, that's guaranteed pretty much. But most people won't stick to it, and that's why they will never be wealthy. And finally, the thing I'd like you to understand is that you need to focus on doing better than you previously did. One of the best things I ever did for my mental health and my productivity was simply to stop caring about what everybody else was doing. I stopped looking at what the competition was doing because none of it mattered. What really matters is not that you reach 10k per month in 90 days already. If you reach it in 6 months or 12 months, be proud of yourself, for fuck's sake. You achieved something insane. And even if it takes you 12 months, 24 months, 48 months, what's the alternative? Because once you're making 10k per month, growing that is much easier than you believe, because now you've got capital to leverage, and then you tap into true wealth, because rich people use money to make themselves richer. They don't do everything themselves. That's what you've got to do when you're at the bottom. That's why it takes the longest to go from 0 to 1k per month. That's the hardest jump you will ever make. But once you do, everything else will get easier, believe me. And I would suggest spending less time on short-form content like Instagram, TikTok, etc. because otherwise, you won't stop comparing yourself to the highlights of the top 1% on social media. And believe me, it is honestly no way to live. If you'd like to learn from me, you want to know how I built $1,000 a day in profit business while traveling the world, only working 5 to 15 hours a week, click the link in the description below right now. You'll get access to a free video I've made explaining my 3-step process and how you can start it today to earn cash as quickly as possible. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free strategy call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll come up with a strategy to help you move forward. And if it's a good fit, you might even get the opportunity to join my premium mentorship program, where I'm going to hold you by the hand and share everything step by step with you until your business is making at least 10k per month consistently. Now we've got very limited spots, so if you want my help, you are ready to change and put in the work, click the link in the description below, and I will see you on the other side.